And this is Ken Kreitzer at Michie Stadium for the Meet the Black Knights night. I have a chance to meet one of the Army captains, Thomas Holloway, who is from Birmingham, Alabama. And Thomas, you were named one of the Army captains this week. What does that mean to you to be one of the leaders of the Army football team?
Well, the first thing that tells me, sir, is that my teammates believe in me. And I wouldn't be here as a captain if it wasn't for my brothers on the team. And so I thank them sincerely, and I give the credit to them because I couldn't have done anything without them. But I also want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without Him I definitely wouldn't be here at all. And He gives me hope in everything that I do. But really, it just adds an extra layer of responsibility onto what I've already accumulated. And that lets me know that, hey, whenever things go wrong or whenever things go right, I've always got to be that voice of reason on the team. And I also have to be a leader by example at every single moment of every single day. So I always got to have that positive attitude to work my hardest with everything that I do. Because this is my last year. I've got to be a great leader for these guys, and I really, really want to do that. So I'm going to give it all I have and have no regrets by the end of the season.
Very good. Now tell us a little bit about why you decided to leave Birmingham, Alabama, and come up here to New York and West Point and be a part of the great Army tradition.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I actually had a couple of teammates and classmates that were interested in the Naval Academy and the Air Force Academy. After a couple of years, I started looking more into that, and I said, I definitely want to go play football at the academy. Unfortunately enough, at that time, West Point wasn't really at the top of my list. But as I got older, and by the time I was a senior, I started thinking about all three. And West Point was the one that I got into, and I said, this is actually a godsend, because I think the Army is what I want to do more than anything else. And so I ended up coming here, and I was really blown away by what it had to offer. You know, like people said, it was hard and challenging, and although that adds a little bit of adds a miserable nature to what you're already experiencing, but at the same time I knew there was something greater, and I knew that that's where I wanted to be. And I tried out while I was here. I sent film up earlier, I got a slight reply from the coaches, but when I showed up here for Beast, they actually put me in a football company, and I was able to try out. Luckily I made it, and I've just stuck with it since.
That's great. And just tell us a little bit about some of the great moments that you've had playing football for Army leading up to this year, at your senior year where you'll be a captain. Tell us how you advanced to this state of the season.
Yes, sir. The first moments that come to my mind when I think about that are our wins from last year, so the Air Force win and the Boston College win. Two games that a lot of people outside the team didn't think that we would probably win. And just being around the team and even participating in those games was absolutely fantastic. I loved it, just seeing the team react in that way and play in that way that, you know, I would like for that to happen more often this season. Unfortunately it didn't, but just being around that and just being able to celebrate that amazing victory with my teammates and then with other people in the Corps and some officers here on post, it was just a fantastic thing, and I wanted it to happen multiple times this year.
That's great. Those were great days. Now tell us a little bit about what does it take to make this defense successful this year. You often go against much bigger offensive lines on the opposition, but tell us a little bit about some of the things that are going to make the team a very good defensive one this year.
So going against a very big offensive line is something that's not new for us. Obviously we've been battling that challenge for quite a while now, but we have developed a defense and we have fine-tuned that defense to better combat that inconvenience. So one thing that we have to get straight that's going to set us up for success is communication. That's across all levels. So on the defensive front and also in the backfield where I'm going to be playing, we got to make sure we're on the same page with every play that we do. So we got to make sure that guys are calling out formations, audibles, checks, whatever it may be, it's going to set us up for success. So as long as we have that effective communication going on in the field, we're going to have that increased level of confidence, and we're going to be playing a lot better because we have a ton of speed on this team, a lot of talent, and we're ready to play. So as long as we just have people step up, talk, and be a little bit mature in their play, we'll be set and ready to go.
Absolutely. Now we're here standing on the field at Michie Stadium. We see the two signs saying Beat Navy and Beat Air Force, your two mega rivals. What does it mean to go on the field against those two other service academies?
The best phrase that I've used to describe it is that it's more than just a game. We have a strong sense of rivalry against those teams, but we respect those teams. And a lot of the time you don't see that in other civilian institutions, right? So when you have an academy versus an academy, you have that genuine rivalry that's pure. You respect each other, and you know that when we're out of here, we're going to be defending our nation, whatever branch that we choose to serve, through our academies. So when I play them, they're a team that I want to beat more than any other team, undoubtedly, but I respect them more than any other opponent that I face, and that adds an extra level of competition to the game.
Absolutely. Now tell us a little bit about what are your studies here at West Point?
Yes, sir. I'm an international law major. So my involvement in legal studies has been awesome so far. I'm also taking some electives in environmental engineering, environmental science, and in history department as well. So I'm just trying to make the most of it so far. I'm thinking about writing a thesis this year, so doing the honors program if I'm eligible. And I've had some awesome mentors that I really like the department. And as far as going to law school and stuff later on, not really sure. I'm going to see how my time in the Army goes, and I'll make my judgment call whether I want to stay in or get out after that mark, based on how the Army goes for me. And I'm going to make the most of everything that I do from here on out, and I'm really happy with my choice in going legal studies for a law major.
Absolutely. Thomas Holloway from Birmingham, Alabama. Our best wishes to you on the start of the season, a week from this week, and from all of us at the American Legion.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
It's Ken Kreitzer for Sons of American Legion Radio at Michie Stadium.